you, Iran's current leadership is holding emergency talks as the missiles continue to strike across the country, including reported hits on Tehran and the Assembly of Experts. A temporary interim leadership council made up of President Masoud Pezeshkian, Judiciary Chief Gholam-Hossein, Mohseni-Ejei and Ayatollah Alireza Arafi from the Guardian Council is meeting until the Assembly of Experts elects a permanent successor to the late Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. The council was formed under Article 111 of Iran's constitution to manage the state during the leadership vacuum. Ambassador Suresh Goyal, Iran, of course, going on to elect the next in charge, next in command. But even before they can elect a leader, Israel has already launched an ultimatum saying your supreme leader, whoever is elected, will be eliminated. In that circumstance, how prudent it is to name a leader immediately, and how does it help Iran in doing so? Because clearly the threat perception that it wants, or the messaging that it intends to send, will not serve the desired goal at this point in time.
Very briefly, Kriti, I would say that I think Iran is defiant in the face of allegations that Iran's power is crumbling. Iran is sending a message that even if Ayatollah Khamenei is no more, but there is a line in succession, and that the line in succession is being now elected. So that's a clear message to the West that we remain there. So don't dismiss us. Number two, as far as the threat to the life is concerned, that threat to life, the Iranian leadership, even without naming them, continues to exist, or always existed even without naming them. Therefore, naming or not naming does not increase the threat to them. And lastly, which is a matter of concern, I think, for the entire international community, is that President Trump has clearly said that he would expect to be involved in the election of the new leader of Iran. Now, I know Venezuela, he was able to kidnap Maduro and bring him to New York to face the trial, to treat another sovereign country in this manner, that I will decide who should be your president. I think it does really is boggling, and it does really disturb me a lot.
All right, sure, Ambassador, thank you for your assessment. Stay on with me. Because in fact, now Hezbollah has reportedly fired at least 15 rockets towards Israeli border towns overnight. Israeli forces are assessing the situation, and air defenses remain on high alert as tension rises along the northern frontier. I don't want to come to you now, General Dwivedi. Israel has, of course, targeted Beirut to target the Hezbollah camps there, inadvertently forcing Lebanon into the war. But where do you think Hezbollah can now spread and open up new frontiers for the conflict?
Well, Kriti, before I go to the question of Lebanon and Hezbollah, there is a dichotomy among the minds of the viewers and number of other analysts that what are the war aims of America and Israel? Have they been clearly spelled out? I think if you, those of us who heard the briefing on 1st of March by Defense Secretary Hexit, and also the Chief of General Staff of the US Army, Dan Kane, they had clarified 4 very important war aims. First and foremost was to destroy or degrade the Iranians' nuclear and defense capability. Secondly, to destroy their navy. Third is to ensure that Iran is weakened, not to support the proxies. And fourth, of course, was the change of regime, which they categorically said, no, that's not the aim, but anyone can read through that was the aim. I think first 3 are easier to achieve because our war aims, as far as military is concerned, they are very clear-cut. Either they are achieved or not achieved. Right now, I think Iranians are taking a big hit, and they are potentially being degraded across the spectrum, air, land, or the sea shore. But yes, change of regime is a very complex subject. It cannot happen. The press of the button cannot happen with the whims and fancies of President Trump. It is the local Iranians who will have to be involved in this, phenomena. Now coming to the Lebanon front, you see, in 1982, the Hezbollah was formed by the clerics in Lebanon and in Iran to blunt the offensive of Israelis against Lebanon, and that's where these proxy came up. Now it's a very formidable, outfit, Kriti. Their numbers are about 30 to 50,000. They have the rockets and projectiles, which some people say more than 100,000, and they are well organized, and they have been quite embedded in the southern Lebanon. They have a zone where the Hezbollah has fortified their position. In fact, if you go back point in time in 2006, there was 34 days skirmish between the Israelis, IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, and Hezbollah, and they have been quite active. Now again they became very active after the 7th October 2023 in support of Hamas and Houthis. So therefore this outfit is formidable. It is a headache for the Israelis, and because they threaten their northern front, and Israelis have actually now gone in. They have brought in the 140 division of theirs, which is responsible for the operation here, and Israelis are now deep into the so-called the zone created by Hezbollah, and they are also targeting the Hezbollah position in Beirut, their headquarters and their command elements. So the point is that this front is going to be active because Hezbollah has formidable capability, and this is the time they like to owe their loyalty to the masters in Iran, that in this hour of crisis they will also like to do the bit and also encourage Hamas and Houthis to come in. So all I can say is that Hezbollah are very active. Lebanon front is going to see more intensity, and Israelis are going to be deeply involved in the Lebanon southern front.
All right.